What'd you think of the intro?
There's something about the two black and white characters that when our characters come in, they're black and white. It's almost too stark. They almost need to be colored.
Yeah.
Badly. You know what I'm saying? They need to be some, because everything else is coming in so. Really. I like it because there's something about it that wants to be. It's like it's like somebody operating a Muppet in the middle of a heavy metal video.
Yeah.
But the problem is that it's too stark because it's in black and white. It needs to be literally colored in very badly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like 3-year-old like coloring.
Yeah.
And then it would seem it wouldn't go and hit you in the face, Right. Not that I have any objections with hitting people in the face. I do not have a problem with that whatsoever.
Well, all the other things I colored in, like the plane and the I actually did that. I did that on my Photoshop.
It looked really good though. The plane looked really good. I liked it.
The UFO.
The pickles,
crazy.
I'm not sure about the pickles, but the plane looked amazing.
I don't know why. I just thought of that phrase, "Whatever tickles are pickles," and I was like, "Oh, that'd be kind of fun."
You should have put fuses on the side of the pickles. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
See? Or fins. Fins.
Yeah,
put
fins.
Fins.
They weren't missing
bomb
fins.
fins.
Yes.
Yeah, bomb fins would have been great. There you go.
Yes.
See, they need bomb fins. That's exactly what they need.
So I actually set I learned how to set chapters now on YouTube. So basically what I did is that thing's like a minute long. I'm like, if I was a viewer, I'd probably be like, again, really? With the 1 minute long intro. It has you can skip it. You can go to the next chapter.
Yeah. Oh, you can.
And so I was actually thinking about putting for the dingbats that don't know how to skip things. I was gonna put a little thing up there saying, skip the intro if you want to,
I like it a lot. Ian goes like this. Ian watched it the other day. He says, I went all the way through. He says, the only thing that I have to say about it is that the music, I hate the music so bad that the only music that, and he grew up with the Grateful Dead and he listens to the National, right?
Right, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So he goes, the only music that I've heard that's worse is the music that you used to have on that show. So I guess that's a step in the right direction.
Oh, he didn't like what was that band?
Really? I can't even. It's funny because he asked that. I was like, I have no.
We've gone through. This is our third set of music now.
Yeah, I know, and I can't remember the one from the other. I really can't. Not in the least.
I don't want to mention the other one. I know the name. I just don't want to mention. I'm irritated.
It was really cool.
The record
the
label.
First, I swear to God, I've liked all of them. I really have. But what I like about the new one is the chimey kind of sounds that are going on in the background.
I like the growls.
Yeah, the growl. Yeah, the supplemental weirdness that's happening in it is, and if I could get more supplemental weirdness, I would certainly have it.
Oh, I was going to ask you before we get started. I was going to ask you, have you seen the movie Dinner for Schmucks? Schmuck. I can't even say it.
I love Dinner for Schmucks.
I just watched that the other night. I really liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked it because it was so schmucky. It really was like. there was no doubt that a bunch of writers are sitting around saying, you know what, basically, when you really get down to it, you know what we are as a group? We're a bunch of dicks. And if we just call that schmucks and then turn around, we could even hire somebody new that isn't a schmuck just to see what a non-schmuck is like. And I think that that's what they did, and therefore that's what happened. Yes, exactly. There's something almost bizarrely topical about that,
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Have you seen the film Society?
No.
Oh my God.
I'll have to write it down.
Oh my God, you have to see Society. Nick Benson, a friend of mine, doing the makeup on. He hung out with me for the last 3 weeks, to try and keep me partially sane, partially sane up in Pennsylvania.
Right.
And he had worked with Screaming Mad George on a film called Society, and holy shit, it's that's way out there.
Wow.
Way out there.
Speaking of Nick Benson, was there something you were working on with him? I'm just curious.
I am. Yeah.
That wasn't planned, by the way.
That wasn't planned. You just organically rolled that off of your tongue.
Boom.
Well, Beans is. Then I'm just going to give you the organic answer. We're working together on The House in the Pines, and I'm directing. And so I'm trying to get it moved to Tennessee.
Oh, really?
To do it in Tennessee, because I did not find driving around the eastern part of the United States to be at all appealing.
Oh.
Saying it's not my cup of tea, as it were. Just saying.
You can always shoot it in Washington. I'm just saying. I mean,
well, I just think it's so much but you know what? Here's the thing: the East Coast has the look, right? But the thing
totally.
about the East Coast is the look.
Yeah.
The look is the entire East Coast, short of that penis coming off down there real south.
Well, there's some stuff down there that looks like like if you get to northern Florida, for sure.
Yeah, and I really don't want to.
Florida's a great state.
Right
has a lot
around
of
my
crazy
place,
people, but it's a pretty state.
That's 90% of the crazy people. What do you mean a lot?
I don't know. See, I think I think it's biased because it's skewed, I should say, because there's a law where Florida has to share all the things, the reasons why people are arrested, and other states don't have that same law. So I think that's where the Florida man comes from, because everybody. In fact, the Daily Show did something on that, where they were
right.
They're trying to find that out.
Right. Oh yeah.
But I think that's why people think everybody from Florida is crazy.
Right.
I mean, I lived there for a while, and I'm completely normal.
May I rest my case? Enough said.
Right.
Next topic. So I'm trying to convince them that Tennessee is a good base for it, and this is what I'm doing for the next 3 weeks or so. I've done a lot of fixes to the script, and I'm having Mike me do me a solid and add all those to the script. And as he's doing that, I'm trying to find out what I need to put together with. I'm talking to the Film Commission here in Nashville, trying to put it together and see. I think it's going to be a lot cheaper here. Certainly going to be a lot easier to get around here, because it's not all that easy to get around in up around. Well, the area that is originally supposed to be in is the Pines part of New Jersey, and with the toll roads and everything else, like I have bills coming in every day for my last month.
Right.
Up there.
Yes.
And it's like, hopefully by the time I get done, being told to death, I will have made a dime. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, and it is much easier to get around down here. I think labor is going to be a little bit cheaper. The Film Commission is bending over backwards to work with people because they knew that Georgia was going to lose a lot of its filming,
right? Because
Georgia is doing its best to be a dick whistle, and
I'm not really sure what that is, but okay.
Oh, come on, think about it for a minute. What's a dick whistle, right?
It's something I don't want.
Well, and as far as that goes, what's a dick whistle between friends?
Hey, buddy.
So, anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to try and get it sucked in down here, and we got a lot of work to do. I want this done as a fairly professional, a small professional crew that they're like ninjas.
Yes.
You know, ninjas. Did I say ninjas? I did. That's disturbing. Ninjas. We're gonna be like filmmaking ninjas.
Well, if you need somebody to deliver donuts, I'm your man.
Hey, you know what? I'm planning on it in you, brother.
I'd probably do more than that, but I mean, that's just where I'm starting.
You're on the scary flight list, yeah.
Scary flight.
It's the scary flight list, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy's coming in on the scary flight list, you know.
Awesome.
I'm letting Jeremy do the I'm not letting Jeremy, but
you're asking Jeremy to do this something, right?
Well,
what's he going to do?
He's going to co-direct.
Awesome.
He's going to co-direct.
That's right.
But the things that he's doing, he's going to pull together the cast for me, and in that actually pull them together, rehearse them, put them together, while I'm dealing with the more mechanical aspects of everything, and you know, getting the shots in order, and you know, we're both going for our strengths. I'm constructing the film.
Yeah, and he's really good at the casting. He's really good.
He's really good at he's really good at casting. You know, in fact, you know, eventually in here, I'm gonna guess that you're going to have an advertisement for Brown Space Films. And when you do, you should bring up how good he is with cast.
Oh yes. Well, I made sure one promo to mention Dustin.
Dustin, you're right. Now I think that you should mention Jeremy Brown and a man who can look at a group of people and say, that person's gonna be a star.
Gonna be somebody.
It's gonna be somebody one day.
Well, see, this is why I keep. I'm kind of secretly auditioning for Jeremy. So, like, if he ever has a project he's working on, I say, you know, I remember Kurt doing this really awesome thing on a show. So that's why I'm always trying to do, like, let me act this out for people.
Oh, you're such a tool. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, tool. I can do that too. What tool is this?
Tool? Hammer.
Yep.
Nail.
Got it.
Hammer and nail. Hammer and nail. Oh, there. Okay. See. Oh, that's even brighter. Okay, there we go. So
we're doing Sleepaway Camp just to get it out of the way.
Sleepaway Camp.
Hi, I'm Kurt Thomas. I'm with the Dream Warrior Review podcast, and I'm interrupting our podcast to tell you that we have a new sponsor. Brown Space Films, one of my favorite companies, is sponsoring our podcast. I mean, how lucky can we be? Let me tell you about Jeremy Brown. He's not just a director, he's a director for actors. I mean, he is such a talent at finding talent. You know, if he was a farmer and he was walking through the orchard one day and he said, you know what? I'm going to find myself the biggest apple I could ever find. I'm going to look through the trees. Oh, he picks the apple from the tree. And you know what? That's going to be the most talented, smartest, funniest, best apple at memorizing lines that you would ever find.
You know, I look at you and I think, that person's gonna be a star. That person's gonna be somebody someday. Go ahead, sweetie. Read me some lines.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody instead of a bum, which is what I am. A bum.
I think you got the part.
They have a new film they're working on, a Star Trek film, Warrior's Death. So check it out.
Please check out their website, brownspacefilms.com, and of course you can check them out on Facebook at Brown Space Films. Why not do that after this? Because you're going to listen to the rest of our podcast, right?
You better.
Oh my God! I can't believe that you made me watch that.
Oh, that's
what year was that from?
1983.
Really?
And I've never seen it. So I was like,
oh
I
my
wanna see
God,
that.
I've heard about that for so long, and to say the least, it hardly even makes it up a tenth of the way to the expectation of it. That was terrible.
Well, here's my description, just for people who don't know. You ready? You ready for this? Okay. After a boating accident kills her family, Angela moves in with her eccentric Aunt Martha and protective cousin Ricky. One summer, Martha sends the kids to camp. Soon after their arrival, bizarre, increasingly violent accidents claim the lives of various campers. That's it. That's all.
By the way,
Yeah.
the role of Aunt Margaret.
Oh, the acting was amazing.
Yeah, amazing. But the role of Aunt Margaret, you know, when you go to somebody who can't act at all and say, hey, I want you to be an uptight weirdo person, I want you to let it all hang out, sometimes you get Aunt Margaret. And I swear, she was so far in left field. I'm convinced that there is a film that she was working on, but it just wasn't in our plane of existence yet. And we saw through that, through those otherly, extrapolated universes.
Yes.
And we saw through to her very soul.
There's other brilliant actor that was in the boat, in the canoe. What was he saying? Do you see the snakes? You see the snakes? It's like, I mean, there's some really good. If you want to see some good acting, Jeremy Brown. If you haven't seen this movie, you'll find some good acting skills in this one. I don't know what to think of this really, because well, first of all, I was wondering who the murderer was, and I immediately thought it was Angela, and I'm like, well, that's too obvious. It can't be Angela.
Right. Exactly. What you didn't know was that Angela was actually a transvestite that had been twisted by her Aunt Margaret, right?
Yeah. I was going to say I suspected Angela from the beginning, but I didn't expect Peter to have a Peter.
It's,
God.
it's sort of like Sixth Sense, only with a dick.
Well, we've been talking about movies that take left turns, like Mother took that horrible left turn.
Yeah.
This one took a left turn right at the end.
Yeah, right. They're in the last two frames, you know, and you're sitting here going, you know, not only does that not surprise me, I still don't care.
Right.
You know, it's sort of like maybe this is going to turn everything around. And you're going,
And the
I don't think
muscular
so.
guy had a really horrible line. I can't remember what it was. It's like, oh, he's a guy.
yeah,
I don't
he's a
even know what he
guy.
said.
Yeah, he's a guy. Yeah,
Angela's a
that's
guy.
hey, and that was the last dialogue in the show.
Yeah, Angela's a guy.
Hey, Angela's a guy. Oh, yeah, and you're like, okay.
Oh, and can we talk about the accident? Like the first boat accident. That was like the worst shooting I've ever seen of anything. It's like,
Well, can I ask you a question? How was it that the father was killed? The father was killed, but you didn't see any indication of it.
no.
He just floats by, and then you see a really torn up life raft that is really bloody and all, and you were like, okay, what am I supposed to think about that?
And there was no blood. There was nothing.
And it's like I really needed a strong explanation of who died.
Yes.
Right there, you know.
Yeah.
I wanted to know who bit it, because then when we come in and we're like so many years later, I didn't know if it was the same brother and sister.
I had the same problem. Yes.
Yeah.
And also, it's the before
See,
and after.
and you thought that I wasn't paying attention.
It's the
I
before
was
and
paying
after.
attention.
You don't even see the boat hit, and then you can tell that the people that are watching, for some reason, they're just sitting there looking.
Yeah,
Like it looked like they were completely shot at different times, completely. Like
it's like,
oh my gosh, look at that guy.
no blood, no blood. Nobody came running down to the edge of the water,
Right, yeah.
Even,
Yeah.
you know,
And that girl that was sitting there, oh no, somebody help him! Somebody help him! It's like,
yeah, it was. There's no way that you could look at this film and then parse it out and goes, and then go, well, I know, it wasn't that good, but there were so many people, and so many things that were so good about it that they're gonna go on, right? No.
Well, they made a few of these movies, Sleepaway Camp. I've never seen any of them. Okay, looks like they made 6. Sleepaway Camp, Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers, Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland, Sleepaway Camp 4, The Survivor, Sleepaway Camp 5, The Return to Sleepaway Camp, and the 6th one, Sleepaway Camp Reunion 3D.
Oh my God. Is there no humanity?
I think they tried to make this too much like Meatballs. Like some kind
Did they?
I think they were kind of going for that look. But yeah, it was just, I don't know.
I mean,
then they tried to copy Friday the 13th with the POV shots. The POV shot in the kitchen, sneaking up on the guy with the pedophile guy. Oh, and by the way, the pedophile thing, that was really creepy.
That was
so creepy.
That was a super. You know what? And it was straight on things that would they happen? It's like straight away. You're like, wow, it's
I guess it could be. Well, and his death was lame too. It was like, oh, you see the pot tipping, and then all of a sudden you see him
wait a minute
with his face burned.
Don't you say anything about that pot. that pot was one of the strongest.
The pot was
members.
awesome, but
that pot was amazing.
The death was
Whoever
lame,
came
though.
up. Yeah, well, yeah, but you know what? It wasn't the pot's fault.
Oh, and the guy, the one actor I kind of like is Mike Kellen. I've seen him in a lot of stuff in the 80s and 90s, and he died of lung cancer, I guess, at 61. But it's funny because every shot in this movie has him with a cigar in his mouth. He's the camp, the guy in charge of the camp.
Oh, yeah. You know what? He was one of those great character guys.
Yeah, he's a good actor. And
he was a good actor. He was totally wasted on this. It's like.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, it was his last film, according to what I read.
So the cigar got him, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so disturbing how he was. That was also creepy too, where he was kind of into the counselor, and he was like, meet me after the swim period. I want to see you. Or,
Yeah, and she was going, "Ooh, I'm gonna get me a little 70-year-old shriveled up."
Yeah, and the death was just weird.
Yeah,
all the kill scenes were just so awkward and. Like they didn't know what they were shooting.
They really were awkward. It's funny because I kept thinking to myself that the first Thanksgilling was actually much better than this by a long shot. I kept thinking to myself, by a long shot.
Yes. Well, there was some good lines though, like "Let's get out of here before we get caught or murdered." Where are we going? The lake.
Before we get caught or murdered. I like that. Yeah, before we get. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have much to say about this. What about the curling iron death? It was like all shadow and. It's like
what is that? What did he do with it? That's what I didn't get. There were a couple of things. That you were like,
what happened?
What happened? Yeah. What happened?
You just see the before and after. It's like I have a knife. And then all of a sudden there's a dead body. Okay. There you go.
I like that she is sitting there, cradling just the head.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the better scenes out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you know what? Whoever did that head, may I add, that whoever I like the way my finger they knew how to do a spine that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Right? Just the spine sticking out of the bottom like that. That was exactly like we did on Vengeance.
Yeah.
When we tore off what's his name's Jason's alter ego's.
What was it? Louis.
When we tore off Louis's head, that was it was just the right amount of creepy head to operate with.
Exactly.
I mean, somebody knew that. That's all they knew.
It's like their one-trick pony.
It's a whole thing.
Is this kind of a sign of how far movies have come? Like, because early '80s horror movie, really bad special effects, and then you look at like something like the Human Centipede and like Saw, where it's like you see everything. And it's just like a matter of maybe you're better at it now.
You know, there's and you know the weird thing about it is that maybe we're better at it and we shouldn't be.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we're better at seeing everything and we need to see it a little bit less now. Now it's more of a choice, and we should actually, you know, take the choice.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And not go all the way into
yeah, like if you
sewing.
look at Dracula and Frankenstein, some of the scenes can be really creepy and scary without.
Oh yeah,
showing
absolutely.
anything, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, and funny and humor. You know, I want to say that Universal started their horror film set, and the best of those had a great deal of humor in them.
Absolutely.
You know,
yeah.
James Whale. James Whale was a master of pulling humor into a dark situation, and he did it a lot of times with casting. You know, Bride of Frankenstein, as an example. If you saw Bride of Frankenstein and the woman that was, I mean, basically she was in all these horror films. The one that was that was Frankenstein's assistant.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
The old woman. Oh,
Yeah.
She was hilarious. You know.
Yeah.
And the thing is she was also an Invisible Man, and she was like the focus of it. Yeah, I mean, because she was hilarious.
Yeah.
And that kind of casting of a couple of secondary characters that can really kind of help, you know, later on actually replaced later on, as you well know, Abbott and Costello and so forth. You know, keeping the theme of the humor in there. I mean,
yeah.
you know, you didn't do that with war films.
No.
Right?
No.
Well, not until you got into the '60s and
Right,
you got into Catch-22 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like having those characters was.
But you have to have it for
was
horror. You have to
critical.
have a really good screamer too, like like that.
Oh, she was perfect though.
Wasn't that amazing? Did you hear that scream?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to break your eardrums. Whoa, that was a good one,
I'm
too.
sorry. I didn't mean. Yeah, I didn't mean anything. I have a scream limiter on here. You know that, right? So.
Scream limiter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people need those.
I got it turned up pretty high.
Oh my god. Wow, that deep thing at the end was amazing.
They were scared of you.
That's what I call the death gargle.
So I think we totally are done with Sleepaway Camp already.
Well, I, as if it needed to happen, I don't think that we rated it.
Oh god. Ooh. Whatever, I ate this one like a 1. I think I'll give it a 1. It's a nice number.
Well, it's because they used a lot of money, or they used some money to do it.
I didn't like anything about it really.
I mean, I can't even do a 1. I mean, I can do like a 0.3.
I like the 8 is enough house.
Because, like you just said, there was absolutely no redeeming character to this other than a guy who smoked a cigar. And even he wasn't his best.
It was creepy. Oh no, the pot.
Yeah.
I forgot about the pot.
Oh, the pot. Oh, I'm sorry. 0.4.
How do I get that pot? I want to do a joke on have my mother-in-law visiting and say, "Can you help me stir the jambalaya?" And walk her into the kitchen and just see the look on her face.
Who makes something like that? Was that really a shell casing from World War II or something?
It must have been.
Really? God damn.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it really was. Okay, so
I'm generous. I'm generously giving this a 1 because they tried.
And I'm going with a 0.4 and I'm gonna tilt a little out for my homie, the putt.
Right. It's probably out there somewhere.
It probably still. This has probably never been used since that film.
All right. Well, I'm gonna. Okay. Well, I think we're done.
I think we're done.
Yep.